pleasure of speaking with you today, Luca Sardelis, thanks to the wonderful casting queen, Angela Heesum, who I believe plucked you from the obscurity of a classroom. And then you were cast in a show called Sam Fox. Thanks for being here on Inspired By.
Thank you so much for having me.
Would you say you fell into acting to start?
Yeah, I would say that. I think that I was a very academic child and that I thought that I was going to be some sort of scientist or something like that, astronaut, who knows. But I was also very passionate about the arts. And so when Heesum Casting did do a casting call at my school, and I went to that, and that eventually led to me getting that first role, I think it was just kismet, you know, I fell into it. It was very coincidental. So were kind of my second and third jobs. They kind of flowed on from one another. People just helped me along the way get each thing. So yeah, very lucky, very fortunate in that way.
With no prior experience in acting, how do you think you went on your first day on set?
It was quite a while ago. I don't really remember that point in my life particularly well. I think there's a freedom that comes to not knowing what the hell you're doing, because you don't know what the right way to act is, and no one thinks that you do, especially when you're a child actor entering a set. You don't feel self-conscious, and you don't doubt yourself when you have no clue what the expectations are in the first place. So I think I was just very excited to be there. And now I'm probably more nervous than I was when I was 13 on set.
Yeah, because when you're not, you don't know how to act, you just talk, you just say the words. And so I think no training is the best thing.
Right, and also you're still a kid. Like, I was still young, I was still playing shops in the schoolyard and like, you know, doing all that stuff that you forget how to do when you're older anyway. So, well, I try not to, but you know what I mean. So I was still in that mindset of play and mindset of make-believe.
How old were you when you shot Sam Fox?
I think I was 12 because I was in year 7 and it was 2013. That's what I was, yeah.
How did you juggle schoolwork? Because I know you're a very academic, but also very creative person. How did you handle all of that?
I just had to, I guess, figure out quickly what my priorities were at any point in time. I think there was a bit of assistance not in those early years actually. I didn't have a tutor for Sam Fox. For No Way Boys we did. I wasn't on set every day, which meant that, you know, I could catch up on work on the days I was in school. I was only in year 7, so the work wasn't too intense and I didn't have too much homework. But yeah, when it did come to a point where I had a lot of work and I had a lot of acting to do as well, I kind of had to go, well, this has to take priority right now because this is only going to last 6 months and I can catch up on this later. Sacrifice of my own time on my weekends as well. But you do what you got to do, right?
Yeah. What sort of guidance did you receive when you were in those early stages of your career?
So when I was kind of underage, we had to have chaperones on set. There was a lovely lady on set of Sam Fox who was a chaperone to me and looked after us and me and the other kids. In later years, like on Deadlock and on No Way Boys, we had a dramaturg who was kind of like our on-set father and also acting mentor. But aside from that, the crew were also always super lovely and super inviting, and the ADs, the third ADs in particular, have always taken me under their wing and kind of like made sure we're okay and things like that. So yeah, lots of help.
At what stage did you realise that this might be something you could pursue as a career?
I'm still in the stages of working through that now, I think. I think the moment it first clicked, going into the second season of No Way Boys, I'd never done like a second season of a show. And so that was really exciting. And the prospect of, because it's so hard to sometimes land a first initial role, the idea of things then being longer running and getting kind of like run on work made me realize, oh, okay, this could probably be something that maybe is sustainable. I mean, I haven't done anything that's multiple series again since, but yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about Deadlock?
It's about a group of teenagers who live in the idyllic paradise that is Byron Bay. It's in 5 parts, and each part is only like 15 minutes. And it tells the story of a girl who was my character, Sadie, who wanted to go to ballet school and had just gotten in. She has this boyfriend who didn't tell his family about her and like all this drama's going on in her life. And then she passes away in a car accident. The story then goes to like the point of view of her best friend, her boyfriend, this other guy called Aero, and this character Jed, Or is it Ned?
There was Raka was
Raka were in it,
casted.
and they were playing twins, Jed and Ned, so I can't remember which one had an episode, but it kind of follows each of their perspectives to kind of look at what actually happened on the night of this big party when my character died, and like who was involved, how did it happen, and like what is the after effect of that in that small town.
Who was driving the car?
I can't tell you. You and spoilers. You love a spoiler.
No, tell me.
Oh, can
Do I have to get my puppy eye mask?
No, that wouldn't even work on me. Oh, stop. Do not give me those eyes. All right, I'll tell you, fine. Okay, but you have to keep it a secret.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Oh my God, marble cake. I have a fun story with marble cake. When I was on the set of Deadlock, I was like living in a caravan park. I had a boyfriend in that show, and we were like forced by the director, to go on dates and have like bond with each other. And so one of the things we did was we made a marble cake together to celebrate the birthday of one of the other cast members, which was really cute.
If I had to pick any show to be on, probably Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, who would you play?
Hermione.
I want to play Hermione. Bite me.
Do you come from a performing family?
My mum was in like a Greek band back in the day, like would sing at weddings and things like that. She never really pursued that professionally. So no, we just kind of both found it on our own, or with the, I guess, encouragement of our parents. They've always been super supportive of me and my sister and have pushed us to take risks that we probably otherwise wouldn't have. So very grateful for them. And also supportive. Like my mum, when I was working interstate, like in Melbourne or in the Northern Rivers region or wherever, when I was underage, my mum had to come with me. So she had to like leave the rest of my family behind as well to come travel with me to do work for like up to 4 months at a time. So yeah, it was a big sacrifice for my family as well.
Was that Deadlock and Nowhere Boys?
Deadlock, Nowhere Boys, Barracuda, yeah.
Oh yeah, because Barracuda was filmed in Melbourne.
Yeah.
You did an amazing job of that, by the way. I really enjoyed watching the appropriate parts of that again.
Did you just skip through it a little bit?
Occasionally, Mum would like just throw the blanket over my eyes, and then sometimes Mum would dance in front of the TV. What advice would you give to young people for acting training skills and things like that?
My advice would just be, don't be afraid to be a child. Like, don't be afraid to act your age, have a sense of play, to be comfortable with your own emotions and the full range of your own emotions. Also probably read a lot, watch a lot of TV, watch a lot of movies. You probably don't get that advice very often from people.
When I interviewed Angela, she said, watch movies. I don't think parents are going to agree with me saying that.
But if you want to be an actor, it's necessary, right?
Because that's what you're doing. You're making movies and you've got to be successful, so you might as well just watch them
If you want to be on stage, watch plays, watch musical theatre, watch, all that kind of stuff. You need to know what's going on and understand the tone and the vibe and the characters that are being put on screens to be able to then kind of draw your own characters and create your own characters. I feel like in my head at all times, there's like a mini actor, and it's just like watching everything I do. And sometimes I'll be like experiencing a certain emotion, and then the actor in my head is like, oh, remember how this feels. And I can't switch it off. And sometimes it's really frustrating, but I think it's also just part of the job.
Do you agree that everybody sort of has their different ways to getting where they are?
Yes, yeah. That's why I find it so hard to give advice, because everyone's path is different. And that's what's so amazing about the industry. Like, you don't have to be some incredibly qualified person, but at the same time you can be, and that's amazing. Or you can be just some like random person who was walking down the right street at the right time. Like, it's so insane how people get involved in this industry.
From that moment forward, how has it been getting more roles, doing auditions, not hearing back?
Yeah, it can be hard. I think early on in my career, I was exceptionally lucky. I hadn't done many auditions, and the ones I was doing, I was booking. It was so insane. Like, that never happens. And now, as I'm more committed to it, it's a different game, because there are a lot more people in it when you're older. A lot more people going for the same roles, and it feels that way at least. You feel that rejection more because you're putting everything into it, whereas I think I wasn't when I was younger. So yeah, it can be hard. But that just makes it even more rewarding when it pays off.
I think it depends more on the skill rather than the looks. If you haven't casted any of the other characters and they're in the finalization of some people, they can then, if they think well, Luca is an amazing actor. We definitely have to cast her, but she doesn't look like that. Maybe we might make some different decisions for the main character, who you'll say related to, or like you're their sister or brother.
Well, that did happen to me with Nowhere Boys and with The Hunting, where I didn't look at all like the character brief, but because they were both kind of lead central roles, you're right, they could adjust that around me.
How do you spend your time working in and around shoots?
I read a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I'm on set and I'm waiting to do a scene, I'm reading, or I'm chatting to people. I like to run and walk around unit base and get people to talk to me because I get lonely sitting alone in a caravan. Or when I'm not shooting and there's a big gap between shows, I mean, at the moment I'm writing, so working on my own story, or working on friends' short films, like doing lots of little bits here and there, taking photos with friends. I'm into photography. Uni, I study. There's a lot of things to do, right? So that's kind of, that's a snapshot.
Quick question. I know you have a double degree in criminology and...
Ooh, do you remember? Psychological science. No, that was mean of me. That was cruel of me to test you on that.
If criminology isn't to do with crime, then what is it to do with?
It's kind of about all of our institutions, our social institutions, our society. It looks at criminality, why people offend, what is considered a crime, why is what we consider a crime a crime. It looks at intersectionality, like kind of breaking people down. I could go on about this forever and ever and ever, but I'm not finished my degree yet. I'm still studying.
I have got some serious questions for you.
Ooh, go.
Did you meet Barbara?
I don't think I did.
Oh.
Did I? No, I didn't meet Barbara.
Aww.
Sorry.
She's still adorable though.
Yeah, whatever, it's fine. Barbara's cool, whatever. I've heard bad things. Heard Barbara's a bit of a diva. I'm joking, Barbara's great.
My mum and I watched A Perfect Pairing before we were connected with you. So we were unknowingly watching you. And then we're like, oh, research, tick. It's really satisfying when you just have seen someone and you're like, oh, I know that.
Thanks for watching.
I think I should be saying thank you for even doing it, because if one character is not a part of it, it doesn't make it the same.
Oh, thanks. That's wise advice, wise words of wisdom.
Where was that filmed?
That was filmed in the Gold Coast, in the hinterlands.
Oh, nice.
So beautiful. One of the properties we filmed at was right on the border to New South Wales, but they were having a lockdown, so we couldn't go on the other side of this property. It was crazy, weird times. And then mainly I'm just working towards my own short film. I've been spending lots of time in a writer's room with my friend Maddie Grammatopoulos, and we've just been hashing everything out, creating new story ideas.
That's really cool. How's your script going that you're working on?
It's going, it's happening. I think I'm on the 4th draft right now. It's probably gonna need triple that. Yeah, just figuring out what the story is I want to be telling and trying to work through all the bits that I don't quite love yet.
Have you created a character for yourself to play?
No, I haven't. Everyone keeps asking me this. I'm starting to think maybe I should have. But there is a young female in it, but I think I'm going to get one of my friends to play her. I want to focus on directing and writing and give it my all.
Sometimes when you're doing a bit of everything, you don't always, say the directing, you don't have as much input in that. You've got to act and then direct, and that's a little bit tricky. You've got to be there. And then
yeah, I don't want to spread myself too thin when I'm trying a lot of new things for the first time. I mean, who knows? It might work out that my friend can't do it and things go awry and I step in last minute, but dream world, that won't happen.
What's it about?
It is an ethereal bus ride through the afterlife and a young woman's subconscious. So this boy, Eli, has passed away, and he can travel through dreams of those who are thinking about him. And through the dreams of this one girl who never met him when he was alive, they forge this kind of relationship. And she's trying to, escape her reality, and he's trying to hold on to reality.
I love the idea of it.
Thanks.
Where do you get the inspiration to write?
Through life experiences and through my own dreams, funnily enough. That's where the first idea for this story came from. Just through brainstorming as well. If you get a little bit of inspo over here, then it's like, how can I expand on this idea? Conversations with friends help. Also a great TV series. Probably don't watch it. Yeah.
When did you start your love for writing?
I think I've always loved writing as long as I could read and write myself. But I think probably when I was 15, 16, I started writing poetry for myself. And then it's only very recently that I've started writing scripts and stuff that I actually want other people to read.
That's awesome.
Do you like writing?
Yes.
What do you write?
I like writing narratives at school and things like that. But I don't get a lot of time to do it with the different things I do all the time. But it's really fun when I can do it.
What do you like writing about? What interests you?
I like mythical things and adventure and action and things like that. So yeah.
Now let's see if we can
Stopping
find
the
good
name
books for
of
you.
the pants.
That looks like a fun cover. You can always see your reflection in it.
Ooh, poodle. Choose your own adventure. If you hadn't have had your friends and family.
Yeah, continue. If I hadn't had my friends and family.
Okay, I'm going to put mine on my head too. Okay. If you hadn't have had your friends and family and all your people you've worked with, writers, directors, all of that, do you think you'd be where you are today?
Not at all. Not at all. What's that saying? Something about you being a quilt and everyone you've met is a patch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am so influenced by everyone around me. How can you not be?
And the second part to my question would be, how has it shaped you as a person?
Everyone in their own way, I think. Some people have given me memories that I just want to write and write and write about. Other people have given me things that I probably never want to see the light of day, but then that comes out subconsciously and adds depth or whatever to whatever you're writing or acting in. Yeah, everyone has a different role in my life and has added something unique to it.
Since Zoe was probably one of the strongest characters you played, as you said in the CGA interview, how do you think she affected you as a person?
It's interesting because you were talking about how do people in my life shape me, but my characters have also definitely shaped me too. So from Zoe, she was probably a big push into feminism for me. I think I already considered myself a feminist, but through researching for her character, I guess in starting my degree as well around the same time as playing her, I became a lot more progressive and a lot more passionate about a lot of things that I didn't know a lot about beforehand. And also the experience of being on set and playing her put me around some amazing actors that taught me a lot about taking initiative and owning myself and standing up for myself in the workplace and my own needs, because I think a lot of young actors, it's very easy to just say yes to whatever people want you to do, but there's a certain elegance to the way that a lot of professional and older actors who know their way around a set know how to, make the set their own, or in a way that's graceful and not selfish. Well, the way I see it is when you're on set, you're part of a beehive and you're all just trying to make the honey together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone has their role. The director's like the queen bee sitting there making sure everyone does the right thing, but in the end, you're all working towards the same end product. So you have to work together.
Yeah. Can you share with us from when you first learnt of the casting call for the role of Zoe for The Hunting, what you felt for this story and what it was like being a part of bringing this to life on the Closure production set?
When I first read the scene for Zoe, I think I don't know if I got the script after I first auditioned or when I was about to. I sat there and read it from cover to cover and I was like, wow, I need to be on this. This script is amazing. This character is amazing. This message is amazing. So I felt very passionate about it. And the character brief pretty much just read like me. No acting required. This is who I am as a human being. So I was very excited to audition for that.
When you said it suits your character, you don't even need to act, I heard you talking about you wanted to act someone who is less motivated and more morally grey.
Yeah. Well, I just think it's fun, right? Playing different characters. And I think when I first started getting roles, there was this similarity between, you know, April Fox and Nico Pandelis. So my characters in Sam Fox and Nowhere Boys, they were both very academic, upright citizens, you know what I mean, very strong. And then Deadlock was something completely different because she was kind of a bit more ethereal and a bit more quiet. And then Zoe was very passionate and headstrong. Oh, yeah. So I just wanted to play someone different. I feel like it's fun. I love all the badass characters that like just kind of, you know, are a bit more cool. And I felt like as I was getting older, maybe I was getting a bit more cool. So like I wanted to play someone like that. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I like playing different things, getting to show different shades.
Because if you only show the red parts of being a strong person, what about the more yellowy, green, blue and parts?
Yeah, we want the whole rainbow.
Yeah.
I want to play the rainbow.
If because directors know what everything is and all of that, and they read your resume, or she can act all different things, she's got a very good flexibility, or he's got a very good flexibility.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't have to be that way as an actor. Like, Jennifer Aniston is pretty much just Jennifer Aniston in every film, and that works for her. She's got an amazing personality and people want to see that on screen. But yeah, I've always respected, like, for instance, people like Joel Edgerton or Helena Bonham Carter, who play very, very bold characters and very different characters in a lot of the things that they do.
Could you tell us about the audition for The Hunting?
Of course. I pretty much only remember the chemistry read that we did. And that was one of the most fun audition experiences I think I've ever had. So as you would know, there are, I guess, 4 teenage characters in The Hunting, 4 main teenage characters. So they had 2 of us for each of the roles there. I think it was 2. I think maybe there were 3 for one of the characters. Anyway, irrelevant. So they were trying to, I guess, mix and match us to see who the best pairings would make. So they had me going against the other Andy characters, and they had, you know, what were the other characters called? Dip and oh my goodness, it's on the tip of my tongue. Pardon? Nassim. Yeah, they had them going against each other as well. So I just remember the moment I met Alex Cusack, who ended up playing Andy, and we were sitting outside. We were sitting outside of the audition room in Heatham Casting, so in that main courtyard, and it was a beautiful sunny day, and I think I was towards the end of my year 12 year, and he was a year older than me, so he didn't have school. And we were sitting in this little Parisian kind of coffee table in the sun. We were in the sun blaring down. I'm just giving you the full visuals.
Yeah.
And we were just sitting there in our chairs, pretending we were in the middle of Europe and just having this like great conversation about life. And I just knew we'd get along. I was like, oh yeah, this is us, surely. Surely we have this in the bag, you and me right now. And then we both ended up getting the role, and so I was very excited.
I feel sorry for people who have to play like the bad person, because then everybody thinks they're like that in real life because they do it so well.
Right, and I think that was a bit of a complication that Alex faced. I think people, when they first saw him after seeing The Hunting, their immediate response to meeting him was anger. And he was the loveliest, sweetest little angel baby in the entire world. So I think they definitely misjudged him. But.
Yeah, and it's also a risk to do those kinds of roles because of reputation and things.
Yeah, it is a risk, but I think it can be one that pays off. Like I look at, for instance, Jacob Elordi, Alex Fitzallen, they're both other Australian actors that have done well in America as well. And both of them have played abusive male roles. But because they've got this charisma to them as well, because they've got that charisma, I think that's why they play those roles. But then I think that's why they can also then play other roles in the future.
How was your time in LA?
It was interesting. I've been to LA twice now. First time was with my family, and that was great. We were staying in a cool area of LA. We were doing the tourist thing a bit more. It was all about meeting managers, and there were less expectations, I think. It was just go over there, suss the vibe, for lack of better terminology, and come home. And that was great fun. And then I went on my own just pre-pandemic. And that was a bit more difficult because I didn't really have a social network over there.
Yeah.
So I had to try and build one. I was staying in a different area that I didn't know as well. And I guess I did have a bit more expectation then because I was going over during pilot season and I was trying to, do the actor thing. But all in all, I think it was fun and I think I'll go again, especially now that I'm 21.
Thank you, Luca, for taking the time to speak with me today and sharing your incredible insights with us young people.
Thank you for having me. It was my pleasure.
Bud and I would like to say a huge thank you for you to be here today on Inspired Life and sharing your incredible insights with us young people. It's greatly appreciated.
Thank you. Josephine and I are truly humbled to be here.